With the farm growing in numbers and the Gargoyle King at large, it's only a matter of time before Ascension Night comes for Riverdale. Our heroes are fighting their biggest threat yet, and they don't even know who or what they're up against. Could the Black Hood and the Gargoyle King be one and the same? Is Archie going to join the farm after his dad suddenly passes away? Watch until the end to find out.
And I won't hesitate like I did with the Black Hood.
The Coroner. Let's start things off by putting a very low-key character in the spotlight. As many of you know, Betty has become quite chummy with the local coroner, Dr. Curdle Jr. He's helped her solve crimes by revealing classified information about Riverdale's latest victims. Are we the only ones who think that this character is a little suspicious? We mean he seriously gives us the creeps. Dr. Curdle Jr. took over his father's business after his passing. So it's safe to say that the Curdles have been in Riverdale for generations. We wouldn't be surprised if Dr. Curdle Sr. was the Gargoyle King back in his day, and it's very possible that he trained his son to take over the family legacy. In Season 3, Episode 18, Dr. Curdle Jr. tells Betty that Baby Teeth was murdered by something not human, which struck us as strange. Could the coroner be trying to trick Betty into thinking that the Gargoyle King isn't human when he in fact is? Betty is so used to going to Dr. Curdle Jr. for answers that she's forgotten that he's a story of his own. By now, we all know that families who are native to Riverdale have a long and dark past, so is it really too far-fetched to point a finger at the terrifying, helpful coroner? Edgar, the Warlock. Alright, enough about Dr. Curdle Jr. Let's focus on the man of the hour, Edgar Evernever.
Well, I was wondering when we'd finally meet.
This charming cult leader has stolen the hearts of many women and men, so much so that they've left their old lives behind to stand by his side. Fans were surprised that Evelyn was, in fact, Edgar's wife, but we saw this coming from a mile away. We mean she totally loves him. Edgar has a way of getting inside people's heads. Heck, he even had Betty believing that she was the evil one. So how and why does Edgar have this ability? While we could blame his persuasive powers on his silver tongue, we're not sure that's all it is. Because, well, it looks like his cult members are in some sort of trance. Could it be possible that Edgar is a warlock? Now, before you say magic doesn't exist, let's look at the facts. First of all, the original Archie comics were swirling with magical properties, so it's safe to say that the show would follow in the footsteps of the comic. On top of that, we all know that Riverdale's neighboring town, Greendale, is oozing with witches and warlocks, so it's totally possible that a warlock has left town to claim human lives in the name of the Dark Lord. Do you guys watch Chilling Adventures of Sabrina? If so, let us know what you think about this crossover theory in the comments section. The magical town of Riverdale. While we're on the topic of magic, we thought it would be a good idea to talk about Edgar's endgame. It's clear to us that Polly's twins are of great value to Edgar and the farm. Okay, well, maybe just the girl twin. But more on that later. In Season 3, Episode 1, Betsy suffered a seizure after witnessing her mother dropping her grandchildren into a bonfire. But, to Betty's great surprise, the twins floated up and survived. If this wasn't a magical ritual, we don't know what is. At the end of Season 3, Episode 18, Betty nearly joins the farm when Edgar points out that her entire family is there. The cult members whisper, "Join us," as they slowly advance, causing Betty to fall into a strange trance. However, her reverie is broken up when she remembers Polly and her mother throwing the twins into the fire. This is enough to snap her back into reality, which sends the farm on a wild goose chase to catch the last Cooper. So here's our theory. Edgar sacrifices young children to keep his youthful appearance. We wouldn't be surprised if Edgar was as old as dust. His charming appearance could all be a facade to prolong his lifespan and expand his riches. Do you guys think Edgar is showing his true face? We highly doubt it. You can look, but you can't touch. If there's one thing we just can't shake, it's the fact that everyone in the farm is seeing their deceased loved ones. Alice sees Charles, Cheryl sees Jason,
inside, there was Jason.
And Evelyn probably sees her real father. Still, it's not like these dead people are walking around town grabbing milkshakes at Pop's chocolate shop. Still, the cult members seem super convinced that they are seeing their loved ones in the flesh. We know that the Sisters of Quiet Mercy used to give their patients fizzle rocks to convince them that the Gargoyle King was real. But we don't think that the same thing is happening at the farm. In fact, Evelyn made it painfully obvious that the farm members don't put anything foreign into their bodies. In Fear the Reaper, Tony goes undercover to help Betty find out what's really happening at the farm. But before that, she and Cheryl chat about Jason and whether or not Cheryl has actually hugged him. Cheryl goes on to say that she has, but it's obvious that she's lying. So now we know that Cheryl and Alice are only allowed to see their loved ones and not touch them. Could Edgar be using his magical powers to call these lost souls from the grave? Although we have some pretty convincing twin theories at large, it's quite possible that Edgar is tricking everyone around him. The girl twin. Polly Cooper has lived on the farm for quite a while now. She convinced her mother to join her side, so we have her to thank for Edgar and Alice's future wedding.
I think I have someone who can help you, Mom. A friend of mine from the farm.
From the looks of things, Edgar is married to every single person on the farm, the men included. This could be why Evelyn has been recruiting males who belong to the LGBTQ community. This way, they won't have any issues with marrying Edgar. Betty went to great lengths to rescue the twins from the farm. However, she only managed to get her hands on Dagwood, the boy twin. Betty convinced Penelope Blossom to rescue the twins. However, Penelope was content with only taking the boy. No grandmother would ever leave one of their grandchildren behind. So we have to admit this was pretty suspicious. It's almost as if Penelope has done this before. So here's our theory. Penelope gave up Jason's real twin girl to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy and took Cheryl in instead. This little switcheroo was expected of her as a sort of retribution. But the question remains, what on earth is the farm planning to do with the girl twin? Is little Juniper going to be sacrificed during Ascension Night? We sure hope not. Breakups and makeups. Alright, enough about Ascension Night and twin trading. Let's set our sights on Archie and Veronica. In Season 3, Episode 18, Josie finally got her golden ticket. The young star in the making will soon be leaving Riverdale, so it was only fitting that she break things off with Archie. But as she so plainly put it, they just weren't endgame. So now that Josie's out of the picture, it's only a matter of time before Archie and Veronica get back together, right? But which couple will have to break up to bring Varchie back to life? As many of you know, there's a TV series rule that goes something like this. Two couples can't be happy and thriving at the same time. So if Varchie doesn't rise from the ashes, it's only a matter of time before Betty and Jughead start having relationship troubles. We don't like this rule any more than you do. Still, Betty and Jughead have been going strong for so long that their relationship is bound to hit a slope at some point. We just hope that Varchie and Bughead will be able to double date for a little while before troubles arise in paradise. Archie joins the farm. Archie's life has been pretty chaotic ever since Veronica Lodge moved into town.
My mom and I just moved here, so.
From where?
New York.
Wow.
He's gained Hiram Lodge as an enemy while becoming a person of great interest to the Gargoyle King. The Red Paladin is strong beyond belief, which is why so many Griffins and Gargoyles players have tried to conquer him. Archie has gone to jail, been on the run, and faced a murder charge after his opponent passed away in the ring. All in all, things have not been going Archie's way. And sadly enough, things are about to get even worse. Episode 18, Fear the Reaper, is said to be the last episode that features Fred Andrews. The beloved late actor has been gracing us with his presence on the screen, but that's about to come to an end. Archie is going to suffer his biggest loss yet, which will make him vulnerable. If the farm can in fact connect people with the dead, Archie might find himself enthralled by it. And since Edgar loves himself a redhead, he won't be able to refuse. Archie's got a strong head on his shoulders, which is why he wouldn't typically fall for a cult leader's shenanigans. But since he'll be coming from a place of pure desperation and sorrow, anything is possible. Archie would definitely see Fred in Edgar's secret room. But would he believe it to be his real father or a manifestation of his deepest wishes? Only time will tell. Gargoyle King, the Black Hood. Many of us were shocked when it was revealed that Hal Cooper was the Black Hood. Still, we can't help but feel as though Hal wasn't working alone. After all, he's just not that smart. The Black Hood terrorized Riverdale for 2 seasons before being replaced by the Gargoyle King. But what if these two evils were one and the same? Much like the Black Hood, the Gargoyle King has many faces. The disguised figure often appears in the woods and seems to be far from human. However, he's been unmasked before. Tallboy posed as the Gargoyle King to frighten his enemies. However, the true Gargoyle King is still at large. Jughead came face to face with him after the king murdered his loyal player, Kurtz. Could it be possible that Hal Cooper is also the Gargoyle King? If this is true, he would definitely need some help. But who in Riverdale has got Hal's back? Rip Hal. You guessed it, none other than Penelope Blossom. This wild card has got everyone wrapped around her finger. She and Hal have a very close relationship, and she often visits him in jail. On top of that, she's got a green thumb and the ability to grow hazardous substances. It's possible that Penelope is behind the distribution of faulty fizzle rocks in Riverdale. It's also possible that she used Kurtz to distract Jughead and FP Jones while rescuing Hal from jail. While being moved to a different prison, Hal Cooper was allegedly killed. However, we highly doubt that this is true. By getting the Joneses to commit a series of crimes throughout Riverdale, the police force wasn't as strong as it should have been, which could have allowed Penelope's ghouls to stage Hal's death. Penelope always has a convincing sneer on her face, and by poisoning her customers and creating a new threat, she was able to rescue her lover, Hal Cooper. The truth about Penelope Blossom. Penelope Blossom was raised to be a heartless and calculating person, and she tends to have a hidden agenda.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
We know that she's a serial killer who poisons men, so she's definitely a contender. Penelope was born and raised at the Sisters of Quiet Mercy, where she might have been groomed to become the next Gargoyle King. Penelope is definitely up to something, and she's not working alone. The Blossoms have been terrorizing Riverdale for generations, and Hal Cooper is also a Blossom in disguise. If Penelope and Hal are truly working together, this makes us wonder if the farm is connected to the Gargoyle King, or if Edgar has an agenda of his own. Penelope is looking more and more suspicious as time goes on. What are Hal and Penelope playing at? Do you guys think that Penelope is the Gargoyle King? And if so, what does the farm have to do with griffins and gargoyles? Sound off in the comments below. And that's a wrap. We hope you liked our Riverdale Theory video. Like always, give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to The Things. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.